What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Cucco Attack episode 28. We are recording now after the latest Nintendo Direct for 2022. With me, as always,
Patrick Hughes here.
And special guest, as always,
it is I, the cheap one.
The cheap friend. Yes.
So, we got a Nintendo Direct today, and then we got a Sony State of Play, which was announced just after the Direct. So,
I think the energy before this happened was more fun than maybe what was the actual event, but it was good to have that spirit of like E3 and just butting heads again.
Yeah, so,
I'd say the showcase made up for it. Especially the last, I'd say the last two.
I say the last announcements for each were good, I think, and we'll get to those. But I definitely think those were worth the show, and we're excited for those.
Yes,
I think three of us are probably excited for. Well, I don't know. Two of us excited for the Sony one, and two of us excited for the Nintendo one. So,
and one of them is excited and nervous for one of the games.
So, with that said, we'll jump right into this. The playlist. Let's talk about what we've been playing lately.
Yes, because it has concluded our summer of Game Pass, which was glorious.
Yeah.
Where I got 14 games in for $1. I think it is pretty superb. I do feel a little guilty where I feel like I should give back to some of those developers. So
you weren't the one that forced them to make that money.
Yeah.
To do that.
But we'll see.
Decision to make that.
I might gift some like random people like some of those games just for the heck of it. So. Let's talk about some games that we've all been playing together. Starting with me and Shad, we played the Cuphead DLC.
Yeah, that was awesome. And I'm gonna start this off with talking about how bad an original Xbox One launch model is at the moment. We originally tried to play this. I hooked up my Xbox before Patrick came over, and I updated it. I mean, it hasn't been turned on in over a year. So I was like, well, let me make sure the OS is up to date, and the controllers have batteries and everything's good to go. Firmware is updated, all that good stuff. Good to go. He gets over, game's downloaded, go to play it, and it's seriously like a 2-minute lag between loading screens for Cuphead. Like a not resource intensive really game.
You wouldn't think.
It was horrible. It was so bad, and I have to I do not remember that being the case for the original Cuphead without the DLC. But again, that was years ago. So ultimately,
you could have just had rose-tinted glasses, man.
maybe that's what it was. But ultimately, I just ended up taking a long HDMI cable and hooking it up to the big screen behind me. And that's how we played it from my PC using the little Xbox controller adapter, which is around here somewhere. But it worked beautifully. And that's the best part about gaming in the Xbox platform, is being able to play everything on PC as well. So we had that option, and then we had SSD performance, and
we've been spoiled by modern gen.
Yeah, it was great after that. But gameplay, game was awesome.
It was great.
It was more
it's as good as the original. Yeah.
It's a little shorter. We were able to beat the DLC almost to its entirety in one sitting. With the
we rolled the credits. We didn't do all the optional stuff.
And that was mostly because of me. We would go around the map looking for the battles, and I was kind of expecting like a run and gun or something like that too. But then there's like a ladder that hangs down, like from a you'd think it's from like a hot air balloon or something. But when I was like, no, we're not going to climb that until we finish the map. And then we finished the map and rolled the credits. So we're like, all right, well, let's go up the ladder now.
Let's see what that is.
And then when you go up the ladder, that's how you earn money to buy all your other power-ups. So we beat the game with no power-ups.
Or at least no new power-ups.
No
Those
new
are all the
power-ups.
basic. Yeah.
Yeah, all the basic power-ups. And then, like, I think we did get, like, three or four coins, like, just from playing the game normally.
Yeah.
So we did get like one new power up, I think.
Yeah.
But
I did very much like the one power up where I gained health every time I parried, which working in co-op worked very well because I'm just parrying, saving you.
Especially as much as I died, it's totally worth it. But I think the best part of the DLC was that Patrick and I decided to play what ended up being probably the hardest boss first. So the very first level.
Oh, you don't try not to spoil it too much because I want people to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. But no, I just wanted to say, like, it took us like 45 minutes to an hour to beat the first boss.
Yes.
And then we rolled through the rest of the game in probably like another hour and a half, maybe. But that first boss was, I don't know if it's just we were rusty or what, but it took us a while to start getting back into the flow of the game.
That particular boss definitely had like a lot going on with everything on the screen.
Yeah, so
all the phases and just a really fun surprise.
Yeah.
So,
but as usual, the game is gorgeous. The hand-drawn art style is amazing. Just if you love Cuphead, you gotta pick up the DLC if you haven't yet. Cause it's worth every penny of like the $8 it cost.
Yeah, for $8 it was phenomenal.
Yeah. So I think Patrick and I still have like two or three of like the bonus stages, like where you get the money or whatever to do. It was getting late, and by that point we were just kind of done. So, but next time you come over, we'll have to finish that up so we can say it's finished completely.
I'm still marking it as 8 though, because we rolled credits.
Yeah, for sure. But awesome. That's probably some of the best, especially playing like couch co-op. Like, haven't done that probably since the last time we played Cuphead, the first time. So
I miss couch co-op games so much.
Outside of like me and you playing Mario Maker, like that one time, that was probably Cuphead. It's been at least 3 years probably since we've done like couch co-op. Well, I guess outside of like a party in Smash Bros or something like that.
Yeah.
But
good stuff. Good stuff.
Awesome.
Next game we have to talk about, which is actually one me and Sadish played when we went to the beach together. We played Part-Time UFO, which is another great co-op game.
Fun. Oh my goodness.
I have no idea what that even is, so...
Oh, dude, Sean, you would love this game. We'll pull up footage in the video version.
Yeah, I don't even think I heard you guys talk about that. Or maybe you did, and I don't know.
I don't think we actually mentioned really much around you, which is...
No, we didn't.
Dumb of us. So, it's... I need to double check who it's made by. I think it's like made by the people who make those, like... Box Boy games and those other, like, little quirky... kind of puzzle games. But this game you play as a UFO, and it's like a crane game where you're just trying to like pick up stuff and stack them on in different like various circumstances and trying to solve puzzles and stuff. And it's ridiculous, it's stupid, but it's got like a really dumb but catchy theme song where you're just this little UFO going do part-time UFO.
Does it look like the UFOs from like Earthbound? Are they like cartoony Like,
no, it kind of does. UFOs? Yeah.
Okay. That's what I picture in my mind when you say it.
Yes.
Like, is it black and white?
No, it's a color game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very like pixelated kind of.
I was kind of thinking
style.
of like in my mind, just when you said it, the type of game I was picturing was like cartoony UFO in like Baba Is You engine, like very like sketchy,
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's got a simplistic art style. Yeah,
they look like the soap bubbles from the
Scrubbing Bubbles commercial.
Yeah, from the Scrubbing Bubbles
they
commercial, but they're in like inner
tubes.
But they're like in inner tubes. That's how you'd picture them.
But yeah, the game is just so much fun. Part of the fun, especially with co-op, is like the chaos that ensues with you two trying to work around each other and like, no, balance it here, and no, it's gonna fall over.
Especially like when you gotta because most of them does involve you stacking stuff. So like one of us would end up like supporting the structure while the other one tries to like nudge the piece in
gently.
Yeah.
And what was crazy, like by the end of the game, I was not expecting there to actually be like a boss battle, and it was like, what just happened in this game? What is going on? It was a very crazy, climatic, and fun. I
actually joined. I think I helped you finish the game.
You did
initially, yeah. Like you were at like the second to last, or something mission, and then we went back.
And you're like, you know what? We're really having fun. Let's try and get all the medals and
exactly. So we tried to get all the medals and
So what system did you play this on?
That's on Switch.
It's on Switch. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a fun co-op game, maybe you would enjoy playing as Vivi. I bet she could have some fun.
Is it a co-op game though? Is it like co-op only?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, you can play by yourself. I think it's definitely more enjoyable co-op, but you could totally have a good time by yourself still. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't pick which was the skin that sucked?
You also get like costumes in the game, and I think one of the very last ones is like a shiny UFO. Yeah. And what I did not realize is it makes your UFO super fast also, and it sounds good. And
it's just it sounds good in a time
when you're trying to be like very gentle and careful, you're like bam.
Yeah. I'll have to check it out. It sounds interesting for sure.
Yeah.
It almost like you're talking about like stacking things precisely, and then what goes to my mind is like that stacker arcade game where you gotta hit the button.
The thing is,
stop.
I should describe the scenarios.
You don't have to be precise. You can be idiotic in your stacking as well, which also solves the.
But you're like getting like odd jobs. This is why it's called part-time UFO. Like your UFO trying to get work, and you're like, help me. Put vegetables back into my farm carts, or stack cheerleaders.
Okay.
Or this building fell down, help reconstruct it. And
okay, that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
So, part-time UFO. What else we got on our shared list here?
Next we have Live Evil. Live Alive. So you started playing it, or you pretty much finished it.
I did finish it, and I know you had started the game before I did, but like once I started playing, you're like, all right, let's both get into this.
Yeah, so I still haven't finished the Distant Future chapter. It's the last one I'm on, but it's weird. Like the game, I'm enjoying the short stories. Of course, I played the samurai level first, which believe is the hardest. So
it definitely was. Yeah.
so that was a little frustrating at first because I kept dying and didn't really know what I was doing. So but once I got past that, I got into the prehistoric level and loved it. Like it just straight up reminded me of like 65 million BC on Chrono Trigger, and just I don't know. It's just dumb humor. I love the way they communicate just by grunting and pointing at things, and I don't know. I thought it was just a lot of fun because then it made it more like a puzzle game than just an RPG.
Yeah.
So it was fun, and like not really to like spoil like what the stories are, but like every story's different. Every story has different mechanics.
Really different. Yeah.
Like fighting mechanics are all the same, which I honestly wasn't a fan of the grid-based fighting, but I did get used to it, and I can figure out pretty like
it's unique. Yeah. I'm not wild about it, but it does like stand apart.
I died a lot the first chapter, and I died a few times in the prehistoric chapter. And then I think after that, I don't think I died again. I don't think I had another death. Maybe in the present day level, maybe you did.
Mhm.
Whichever one was like the Street Fighter fighting
Yeah.
like one. I may have lost the first battle there just because
I got lost once, the first fight.
I think the first fight I lost because I just wasn't like powered enough, because it almost felt like a Mega Man game in that sense, where you had to learn the counter moves for the other people. So because if you looked at it, each person, I guess I'm getting the spoilers, but each person you fought had resistance to your special attacks, but you would learn special attacks from the other ones. So I think depending on which one you picked, you could, I don't think you could really tell, but if you played it enough, you would know, like, all right, I
have no idea. I just got lucky and was able to get through all of them.
And that's kind of how it worked for me, but there was definitely one where I didn't have anything that was like, I didn't have a special move that made them vulnerable to. And I had to just use like the normal punch or whatever. I had to use like a fighting move instead of like a fire move or a psychic move or, something like that. So I definitely liked that. I don't know, it just felt fun. It felt kind of like a Mega Man game where you're using that power against them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of torn on the game though. Like I liked every chapter, but at the same time, them being separate chapters that have nothing tying them together, at least that I've seen at the moment, I don't know. It's not like pulling me into like, what's this major event that's going to happen? Because in my mind, I'm thinking Chrono Trigger, where everything is tied together, where you go, back in time and you're the descendant of the king's family, and it all just ties together, like, and your group comes together to like save the world, and I'm not getting that vibe from here, and then like you said, I'm not gonna like after the next chapter based on what you know about me in games like that. So
so I actually have played further, and like you said, right now, if you just play the 7 chapters, they're just kind of like short, amusing, like short stories. It's like, oh, that was entertaining, but you kind of want that connection. And once you get past that, well, first of all, the chapter after that is like random RPG battles, which Chad's gonna hate. But
yeah, not a big fan of random battles, but
yeah,
I mean, but there's random battles in Chrono, and I don't mind them as much, but
to an extent. But you kind of can see them coming in Chrono Trigger, which I enjoy.
Yeah, because they get the only time
they like randomly pulled out of nowhere. It just it aggravates me.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna go, because I know you said you're gonna try to go back and play Final Fantasy 7. Dude, you walk down the map and it's like Pokemon. I hate this.
I'm hoping now that I have like a love and appreciation for the characters, I'll be able to overcome that aggravating part of it.
Yeah. But...
Oh wait, it took you remake to love and appreciate the Final Fantasy 7 characters?
He's never played the original.
Oh. Okay. Chad, have you played the original?
Yeah, I beat it back when it came out. I had it on PS1. I had the greatest hits copy when it came out.
But I did pick up Final Fantasy VII on sale because it was half off on PlayStation, so I think I'm going to play it before Crisis Core Reunion comes out. So, because I hear that's going to have like spoilers for the original story if you aren't aware of it. So I'm like, oh man, I guess I should actually play the original game.
Or it's not spoilers and it's just you finding them out for the first time.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like I'm doing everything backwards here. I should probably go back.
We have to go back.
Do it right. We got sidetracked though. We're live alive. Yes.
Yeah, live alive. But yeah, go ahead.
So
random battles.
Yeah, unfortunately, after random battles, I just don't feel like anything comes together in a satisfying way. Like the stories do not connect really in a meaningful way. It just feels kind of like slapped together and like, here you go. This is it. And I'm just like, well, that's disappointing.
Yeah. So Yeah.
Because you think like there are like different time periods this is kind of like a connected world in that sense. It's not even that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm kind of like. That's kind of how I feel about the game, and I didn't even get to that point yet. Just playing through, it's like, all right, because there doesn't seem like there's anything at all that like ties it together in any sense of the game.
So it was a fun, quirky little experiment of a game, but not. The ending just crushed me. But I say play it until you stop having fun.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like. I'm not like upset with it. I've definitely, I've put like 12 hours into it, and I've had fun with it, and it'll probably be one of those games that's like hard to find in the future too. And I got a physical, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's Live Alive. And then one quick mention of the game that I played and Chad joined me one night for was Hidden Folks.
Yeah, that was cool. I like it. Where's Waldo?
It's just another Where's Waldo like finding game, searching.
So good. I love those games. They're such a chill way to like end the night.
Yeah.
Which is how we always end up playing it. And the only reason we played that was because our Game Pass expired like a day earlier than we thought. Because we were gonna get
now
what were we gonna play? We were gonna play the Escape Room Academy, or we were gonna play that Mega Goose something, just like
Metal Slugs Goose. Yeah, I don't know what it was actually called.
It was like Mega Goose Boy or something. I forgot the name of it now. But we were gonna play that, and that was disappointing. But anyway, the Hidden Folks was great. It was like hidden in time. If you guys played that was another game we played a lot of. And this one was just a little more like rough around the edges, but it was rough, but it wasn't. It was all black and white, right? It wasn't.
Yeah, all black and white, like sketchy doodle line art.
Yeah, but it was great because it had like. Just the creator making random sound effects for all the making.
The sound design is impeccable. It was amazing.
Like he flicks over a can and it's like boop, and then like a bell and it's like ring ring. It's just the guy making the noise himself, which is really.
They're going like or just like all his own little voices and stuff.
Yeah, that was really like. It was great. That was a great touch to the game. And then it had like some things where you'd have to do little like interactions to like find the items. The items would be hidden. So
you'd have to first roll down a snowball to hit somebody, and then they're like, so that's where the hidden thing was.
Yeah. So it's like kind of like some, you trigger like a quick time event, and then it, find what you're looking for. But it's really fun. I like playing it, and those are games I need to start playing myself because I only play them when I sign on and you're playing them. But I enjoy them so much. It's not something I ever think about.
Yeah, it was just a chill, fun game, and it had a really fun sense of humor too. I was laughing a lot throughout it. I always love those little Waldo kind of books and just finding all the weird jokes that they put in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those are great. Like even the original Where's Waldo books from back in the day, they always had like really funny jokes. Like, you'd find somebody like torturing somebody else and like like not like torturing them, but like like holding out food in front of them, or like it'd be recreating like a scene from a movie or something, just like little like nods and stuff. It's always fun to find that.
Hidden Folks, cool game. Check it out.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next one is that me and Sadish have both played. I finished. Sadish is still playing, but I played this while I was on Game Pass. Spiritfarer, and I gotta say, I think this is leaning towards one of my favorite games I played this year. It was fantastic.
I've wanted it ever since before it was released, but you know me.
Had to be a deep discount in order to get in your library.
But yeah, it's just a beautiful game to look at.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yes,
everybody said it's like really good. Like when it first came out, I remember everyone praising it.
And the thing is it is a management and resource management kind of game, where you have to take care of people. You have to, provide them housing, gather resources, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's very laid back.
Mhm.
It lets you play it at your own pace, and it doesn't punish you.
Yes.
As you continue playing, you realize that it's really more about, I don't want to say story, it's more about the people that you start gathering and their own personal stories as you start getting to know them, as you start healing them in an emotional or a psychological kind of in a way. You provide them an ear to talk to.
Mhm. You just start kind of subtly forming connections with them just through their like gestures or little conversations. And oh my gosh, every game needs a hug button because it just makes you feel so warm and happy every time you give them a hug.
I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I mean, I'll be vague, but I forgot what her name was.
The main character?
The shrew character. Do you remember, Patrick?
Oh gosh, yeah, I don't.
The one with the house with the dresser where you can change your clothes in.
Yeah, I forget that character. It's the little hedgehog.
Yeah, the hedgehog lady. So like that first, I think it does. This is where like it really like piqued my interest. It does such a good job because she did just the slightest thing, and like immediately you're like, oh no. Because you knew what was going to happen to her, or what was happening with her, and your heart just dropped because you're like, oh no, and it's just like, oh, it's so well done.
It's a very emotional game.
Yes,
yeah.
the art is beautiful. I love the shipbuilder. What's his name? Alfred?
The shark.
Yeah, the shark
right? With his like horrible dad jokes.
Yes, it's amazing, and I love the animation with his giant belly laugh.
Yeah,
he's so like bubbly and like bouncy. It's so good.
Like his joke is just the funniest thing in the world, even though it's horrible.
But yeah, it lets you take your time and play at your own pace. It doesn't rush you at all.
Yeah. Like ditto everything you said. Just very fun, emotional experience. The art, the music, just everything about it is so top notch and just relaxing.
One gripe. It does. So you have to quote unquote maintain everybody's emotional state on your ship.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a centralized location for it because everybody moves around the ship, and sometimes it's like, God, where the hell are you? Kind of thing. So like, and then you have to go to each person.
You want, so.
You have to go to each person and interact with them to figure out if they're hungry or sad.
I think like, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I just wish it was a little bit more streamlined in that sense. But I get it in this, where you have to like, interact with them to, as it's part of the game, you have to interact with them. So I get it from a narrative and like
it can be a bit
sense.
Chaotic and difficult to manage at times if you have a lot of people on your ship. But I think that also works really well narratively because once they're absent, you really feel that absence, and it plays both ways.
When they go away, when they are no longer, I don't know, whatever. When they go away, you realize you're like, oh my god, I have so much time. It's just like I can fish. I don't have to like run around. I can actually like fish while the boat is moving.
Yeah. I was going to say before, one of my favorite parts that kind of surprised me about this game was just how satisfying the gameplay loop is. Like, I love how all these kind of simple kind of like tasks that you can do kind of layer on top of each other so seamlessly. Like, you can plot your route, and then while your boat is moving, you're like, all right, and then I'm going to cook this thing. And while that's cooking, I'm going to go fishing. And you're doing all these things at the same time. And it just feels so satisfying when you're like
that's
managing
part
it so seamlessly. I don't know.
Or for most management style games. It's just most management style games. There's a rush. As in like, you need to hurry to do stuff. But this, like I said before, you don't. It's take your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also, I just like how you can kind of feel like you're doing multiple things at the same time. And yeah, I don't know. It just combines like all my favorite kind of things, like a beautiful ocean world, kind of like Wind Waker, a la the Explorer, and then like 2D side-scrolling platform.
It is co-op as well. But it's couch co-op, not online co-op.
It's co-op in a sense of like somebody controls Cappy and Mario. I don't know. It's like it's fine.
It's just so your kid can have something to do while you're playing the game.
They can help you manage parts of your ship while you're fishing.
One tip: anybody who's gonna play it, once you build an orchard, once you plant a tree, you cannot remove that tree. So if you decide to plant 2 cherry trees and expecting to put in like apples after next, it won't work. You have to demolish that entire building.
You have to get rid of the orchard and then restart over.
Yeah,
or just build a second orchard if you want more than more trees.
Obviously, you have a cherry.
I despise
orchard
cherries.
So
the fact that I built 2 cherry trees is
double cherries are never good.
But yeah, Spiritfarer, that's give it a try if you're ever curious about it, and I think you'll be delightfully surprised. Or if it's not for you, I get it, but I loved it. So, and the last game that multiple people have played is Toem, which was recently a free PlayStation Plus game for this month of September. And me and Sadish both played through that to, I think, full completion.
Yeah.
I might check it out.
We both platinumed it.
Yeah, based on what you guys are saying, I might check it out. Especially, I got it, so there's no reason not to. So.
Yeah. Well, the nice part about it is a very sweet and short, just like simple game. Like you can beat it in probably like 2.5 hours, and then if you're really enjoying it, 2 more hours to like plow through the rest of the stuff in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me 5 hours about to 100% it. So, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a cool game. It was like kind of like a Pokemon Snap, kind of like trying to figure out puzzles and stuff, but really kind of fun to like explore the world too, and just like a really silly sense of humor. Like I love how like a lot of the characters in the game were just like weird, like inanimate objects at time. Like there's one person who's just like a sock puppet on a bench, and I'm like, okay, hello.
There's actually another game you guys played that's not on the list.
Oh, really? What did I miss?
Ninja Baseball Batman.
Oh, yes.
I totally forgot. We played it at your party.
we actually did beat that game, didn't we?
That, yeah.
Oh, my fingers hurt so much.
Thanks to not having to insert quarters, we could beat it. Otherwise, we'd chat a lot.
I'm keeping track.
Yeah, that game is
the yellow
great.
dude is really good for beating bosses. At least for me.
I think I gravitated towards the green, like, lightning ninja. He was cool.
It's basically knockoff TMNT.
Oh, yeah.
The Donnie analog literally uses a bow staff.
But it's like absurd, which is why it's amazing.
And the Mikey analog uses like tiny baseball bats on chains.
So
the Leo analog just uses a regular baseball bat.
But then somebody throws like baseballs too, though, don't they? Like actually throw them. I feel like when I was testing it out, like when you'd like get like a combo, you'd like throw a ball at somebody, or maybe I'm thinking.
All I know is that one like area effect move. When it makes that the bat hitting a ball sound is so satisfying.
It's
Such a satisfying sound to hear.
It's like as satisfying as hitting someone with a baseball bat in Smash Brothers and just go. Ping!
Yeah, it's that sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Imagine just a whole game of that, and yeah, now you're sold.
Excellent. Yeah, I played that game a long time ago. At least I knew it. I used to have like a dedicated Neo Geo emulator that only had Neo Geo games on it. And
why did we get all hung up on this game?
I think it's because you made me watch Ninja.
Oh yeah, Ninja Batman
at the beach, and I was like, I know this is not the same Ninja Batman, but this Ninja Batman is what we need to play.
I think you guys mentioned it, and then I was like, or you can play Ninja Batman and then Ninja Baseball Batman.
Everyone should watch Ninja Batman. It is amazing.
Debatable, but
come on, was it not amazing?
Come
on, Patrick. We both were wide-eyed with jaws open.
I will say they committed to this concept and went full with it. So I have to commend them for this absurd movie that exists now.
That's funny.
Who is she was the best line.
That was best. Who is she? But yeah, that takes care of all the games that multiple of us have been playing. There's a few games some of us have touched by ourselves. If Ty, do you want to start first?
Yes, Blossom Tales 2 came out last month. I think on like the 16th or something like that of August. I picked that up the day it came out, but it was also the same day that I ended up getting Live Alive. So I played like the first half hour of it, basically just kind of like the intro story, and it felt great. It felt just like I was playing a 2D Zelda game, so it definitely scratches that itch. I just need to get back into it since I spent all my gaming time pretty much playing Live Alive recently, so that's going to be my next jump. If you played the first one and liked it, you'll like the second one. If you've played any Zelda 2D game, you'll probably like it too, so check it out.
And if you're a reviewer, you'll harshly deem it less than it deserves.
More of the same.
Yeah, it looks cool
after it, so of course it's going to be more of the same.
It looks cool.
For anyone else besides these two, that's one of the things that, and other people who deign to review games.
I just hope
they review sequels
for God of War.
Yeah, explain that. Oh, it's more of the same. Oh, it's like the one that came before it. Well, no frickin' duh. It's a sequel.
It's how I feel about like hockey games. It's like, oh, this year's hockey, and I'm like, I just want to play season mode and win the Stanley Cup. But I will say though that 2022 off because they took away hat trick animations, which is ridiculous. It was
that just seems
how do you not like every game has had hat trick animations since like 2006, and then you get to 2022 and there's no hat trick animations. Like, ridiculous. I'm not even gonna buy 23 this year. I don't even care anymore. It's ridiculous. I got so irritated by it. I'm glad that it was a gift and I didn't have to pay for it, and it was on sale for the person that bought it. I think my mom bought it for me, so I'm glad she didn't pay full price, because ridiculous. Anyway, that's my rant.
Yeah, angry tangent there.
Yeah. So.
All right. Let me get to just two games that I've been playing, just me. Although technically, Sadish played this one game a long time ago, I think. But Unpacking was a super cool game I played on Game Pass. It was just you take moving boxes and you take stuff and you unpack it in a room. What I was not expecting was you actually kind of get emotionally attached as you do this, and like it tells a story. I was like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. And it had a lot more going for it than I thought for the simple concept.
Dude, I've moved so many times over the last like 10 years that Unpacking does not sound fun to me.
I don't know, it was strangely like therapeutic, just relaxing. And then, like I mentioned, like the story, like, and it was cool seeing how the character travels to different locations throughout the years, and you see like the same items that get unpacked, and maybe there's a little more wear and tear of them, and it's like kind of telling a story. And then like all of a sudden they like move in with the significant other, and then you're like, oh, but where's this item gonna go? Oh yeah, this running out of space. I'm kind of getting angry, like, who is this person that I'm moving in with? And it just like, it tells like a weird interesting story just through this simple act. So kind of cool game, better than I was expecting. Although, like, I was kind of surprised when I recommended it to my mom, and then we looked on the eShop, and it was like $20. I was like, wow, that's an expensive game.
At least you got it for $1.
Yeah. Cool game. I don't know, $20, but definitely was better than I thought. And then, last game I'll mention real quick is Chicory, A Colorful Tale. I did play through and finish that. Although there's still some epilogue stuff to play through, which I think I'll actually play. It looks kind of cool.
And that's like a highly anticipated game you've been waiting for years to play.
I was looking very much forward. It came out last year in June, so,
Yeah.
and then it came out on Switch in December.
I just remember you talking about it like constantly, like, oh, I can't wait till it comes to Switch. I want to play it.
Yeah, what was funny was like what made me very excited for it was the soundtrack, because it was like amazing. It was the same soundtrack composer who did the music for Celeste.
Okay.
And the designer who made this game was the same person who made the game Wandersong, which I loved. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that sounds like an awesome combination.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a top-down Zelda-inspired game, just without like combat. As you're like coloring the world and solving puzzles, trying to navigate around this world. But yeah, it was a really neat and original game. The story was cool. I think it might have kind of played a little too heavy on one of the like main themes of the game. Like after a while, like, I get it. Let's keep going. But it was a very kind of heartwarming game, and it was very relaxing to play, especially in Switch and bed, using the touchscreen to kind of like fill in little areas as you're painting the world. So, cool game. I think it's definitely worth checking out if it looks interesting to you. So,
Cool. Yeah. No, I remember seeing trailers for it. So.
yeah, very original. So I got to give it credit for that. And don't. It has a co-op mode too, but you got to play with someone who you can gel with. I tried a little bit with the dish, and he was just like making a mess on the screen as I tried to play. I ended up reloading the game, just starting a new game because it saves your progress like of the colors in the world, and then when I pull up the map, I'm like, this looks hideous. I can't accept this. I just
Yeah, I was definitely the
Way to go.
chaos gremlin while Patrick was trying to play. It was weird. It was like our roles had reversed. Usually Patrick's like the one who's me off because he's just being ridiculous, and I'm trying to play or something or do something. But this time around, Patrick was trying to play, and I was just like changing his like character's color all psychedelically, and then like trying to make the most awful background color schemes.
I just like look at the map and I see these like weird lines, traces. I'm just like, what is this? No. That's my co-op review of Chicory. Not sure if I recommend that for co-op.
0 out of 10. Too much color.
Yeah. Part-time UFO, yes. Chicory, play that by yourself, probably.
So Siddharth, what have you been playing?
Well, other than what is it? Toem and Spiritfarer and other stuff. It's just been Destiny 2. The new season has arrived. Along with it, a much loved raid has returned, King's Fall, which I actually did the most of originally in D1. The season of plunder is it's all piratey.
Space pirates.
Space pirates. Literally space pirates. You get to commandeer a space pirate ship and go fight other space pirate ships.
Sounds like Metroid.
I can remember seeing the trailers for that one back in the day. Yeah,
it's pretty. That's basically like the seasonal activity where you captain your ship, and the space physics are all weird. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what you do. You got Arc 3.0. They reworked the Arc subclass, which has made it much more powerful and much more amazing. A lot of people complain that the Warlock is nerfed quite a bit, but I main a Warlock. I find it perfectly fine and adequate. I enjoy the being what's the word? Empowered or whatever it's called, which increases my damage and allows me to chain my attacks to multiple people. It's fun. Great addition. Great update to the Arc subclass. Also this season they introduced or previewed Lightfall, which is the next expansion of Destiny. It introduces us to brand new subclass, Strand. Which appears to be like a new, how should I put it? Like a combination of dark and light. And Chad may like this. Strand allows you to, basically be Spider-Man.
Ooh. Is that like your jetpack move? Is like your double?
No, it allows you to like thwip,
Ah.
swing on strands.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't played Destiny in so long.
Yeah. It'll also
just trying to tempt Chad to get back in.
One of my friends recently was trying to talk. He's like, it's a great time to get back into Destiny if you want to play.
And the lore is pretty insane now, because usually what Bungie likes to do is they like to before a very heavy and dark season, they like to make a much more fun and upbeat season, which is the current one, because the next season will involve a lot of lore and story. A lot of like plot threads will come to a head with the Witness and all that stuff, and the darkness. Yes, so I look forward to the next season.
I think my biggest issue with playing Destiny again is just like I'm always gonna be behind because I don't have enough time to play it.
It requires commitment.
Yeah.
What it requires is not commitment. What it requires is a group of people to play with.
Agreed. I mean,
and
that
the thing with the next.
Sorry, go ahead.
The next season, they're gonna make a lot of quality of life changes, like built-in LFG, looking for a group.
I was gonna say let's go.
No.
LFG.
So you'd be able to basically say, hey.
48 minutes, Patrick.
Yeah.
Oh,
basically,
gosh.
you'd be able to say, hey, I want to do a raid. How many of you guys want to do a raid kind of deal? And people, sign up for it. That kind of stuff. And you get to, and it's built in, what do you call them? Loadouts, which everybody's wanted for a longest time. So, yeah.
I'll say I completely agree with you. Like if you find that group of people that can play when you play, it's great. With that said, I think I've definitely played a lot with people back when I used to play for multiple hours at night. We'd probably start at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and wouldn't turn it off till 2 in the morning on a work night because we just get sucked in, which is pretty crazy. But then the same time, I remember on a holiday from work, we left work at noon or something, and I literally played for 13 hours straight, and that was solo. It was solo. It was just I actually met. It was solo in the sense of I didn't know anybody. I just randomly joined up with these two British kids, and we just ran around wrecking everything, and it was a lot of fun. And next thing you know, it was like, I was like, oh, it's 2 a.m. now, and I've been awake since, I've been playing this since noon.
I do have to say they've gotten. It's not like that anymore. I find, like me and my friends. I mean, we pretty much play like maybe 2 hours together, max. Not every night.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I may put in like an hour or two. Every now and then. And then there you have your weekly things to you only have a finite number of things to do in a week to get you those items to bump up your power level, and after that you can pretty much do whatever you want. If you don't want to play anymore, you're good to go. If you want to keep like grinding and hammering away at stuff, then yeah. But if you want to do like the minimum to get your like power level up for that week, then you can probably put in like 5 or 6 hours max a week.
I don't know, man. Like, as someone who's trying to play 50 games in 1 year,
yes,
Destiny seems like able to score like that goal.
Outside of people like freaking Patrick, then because definitely out of the three of us, I am definitely the one that plays the least number of games, but I play more hours of games. I'd say.
Probably.
It's probably a fair assessment.
Yeah, I mean, I
mainly because I stick to the long form games. So like I've already put like 100 and something hours into Horizon, and I'm nowhere near done. I'm like 67% through the game. So
yeah, I say that right now. Like I don't play much, but as soon as this new Zelda drops, I mean, I won't be online with you guys. I'll be just playing.
Oh, we got a date now. I'm taking off that day.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I am too.
Mark your calendar.
I'm gonna do it right now. Well, it'll depend because I have to see what kind of pre-order I get.
Yeah. Is this Breath of the Wild 2?
Yeah. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Eventually, it's been
let's wrap this up then and get to this then.
Yeah, so with that said, let's go ahead and take a quick break at the 52-minute mark of the intro of the podcast.
Intro, Jesus, we got to get better at this, man. We need a producer to time us. Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
You got 2 minutes to talk about each game, and you're done.
We just need to break it up. We have an episode that's a playlist, an episode that's a Fantasy Critic update, and an episode that's news.
Or maybe we do this more often, so we don't have to pack like 3 months of stuff into
that is true.
2.5 hours.
You waste some podcasts for longer. We are giving you the unfiltered,
We're giving these 4 people so much content at once. Okay.
I do have to say, I mean, most times, like I do like long form like videos on YouTube. Yeah. Just because I have something playing in my ear.
Yeah.
But typically it's people talking. I don't really pay attention.
Yeah.
But it's just like people just like rambling on.
I literally listen.
For some reason, it helps me concentrate.
I listen to podcasts pretty much exclusively all day. And it helps the day go by fast. And sometimes I've definitely ran out before. I'm like, well, what am I going to listen to now? And it's difficult. So, but with that said, let's take this break. And coming up next, we'll get into our Fantasy Critic updates. Stay tuned.
And welcome back. Hope you had a nice break. We're going to try to speed things up here as we are running a bit long, but let's get first into, real quick, our Fantasy Critic update, just to keep you posted where we are in the standings. So, first we'll start with our pickups, new games that we've picked up and filled our teams. Actually, most of our teams are pretty filled up, other than Chad and Sadish here have one slot left, as they recently both dropped a game.
As of today.
As of today, yes. They had regrets and wanted to rethink things, make some bold moves. So, starting with edgy picks. What you may have not seen recently, they picked up Splatoon 3, Red Matter 2, which
VR.
was a VR, yeah.
Which, no, I'm going to go on a tangent here about that real quick. VR reviewing. What the heck is wrong with it? It's insane. Like, this game, from what I read, Red Matter 2 is a highly anticipated VR title, and it only had 3 reviews that came up on OpenCritic. 3 reviews. Insane. It took me like a week to even get a score for it, because you have to have a minimum of 3 reviews. But yet, I could Google and find all sorts of other reviews. I don't know, just ridiculous.
It still only has 3 reviews.
Anyway, that's absurd. I'll take it though. It got me like 84 points. So.
Yeah, I'll go through the scores here. It did score pretty well.
Sorry.
That's alright. And so that's all your pickups. You also dropped Sea of Stars.
Sadly.
Since that got announced it's not coming out this year. And as of today, you got rid of Sports Story.
Sadly.
Because you anticipate it will not come out.
Yeah, I can't think. I'm not going to take that risk anymore. And maybe now that I dropped it, maybe it will come out, but at least I'll get to play it. So, we'll see. And plus, if it does come out, we're just going to get more of the same reviews, and I'm going to get lower scores, so I'm not going to take it. So.
All right. And then with Writer Games, myself, I picked up Metal Hellsinger, which should be coming out fairly soon. I'm hoping that the reviews come up. And then Plague Tale Requiem. And that was because I had to drop Metal Slug Tactics, which is also not coming out this year. So that fills out my team. I am now locked in unless perhaps they give me some update on Advanced Wars and I can finally drop that. But after today's direct, it seemed more and more likely that's going to be a big fat 0 for me that I'm locked in.
Yeah. And it's hard too. You're getting to that point where we're in September. There's not much coming out for the rest of the year. So
yeah.
But I'm sure there's something you can grab if anything. But
well, I can't drop it is the problem because it's one of my draft games.
Yeah.
So I need an update, Nintendo.
Let's hope there is no update.
Yeah.
I don't think his 0 there is going to do anything for us. So.
It's hurting. It definitely isn't helping. And then objectionable content. So this year, he picked up Curse the Golf, the Dio Field Chronicle, and then Evil West, which he also then immediately dropped today. But he has the money to throw it around and be like, you know what, I changed my mind.
He does.
And he also dropped Forspoken, which is not coming out this year. So that takes care of all the pickups. Real quick, games that released recently and their scores. We had Stray in July, which got an 84. Pretty good for myself.
And got me a minus 14.
Also pretty bad for Chad.
Yeah.
Alive scored an 81, which isn't too bad. I was kind of hoping for higher, but after playing it, it probably feels right.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Blade Chronicles 3 did better than I expected. 88.
Yeah, I did not.
Very impressive.
I thought about picking that up multiple times and didn't, and I probably should have.
Cult of the Lamb got an 85, which is pretty decent. Makes my minimum mark on my page. Blossom Tales 2 got an 80. Chad is upset with that score.
I was hoping for an 85. I was hoping for a little bit better, but can't be too upset, I guess.
But pretty fair. Pretty good. Yeah. Red Matter 2 got an 84 from those 3 reviews.
Yeah. It was a good sleeper pick. Blossom Tales 2 had pretty good reviews, though, too, at first, and then it was up to like an 84, I think, when it came out.
Yeah, I think it was like 83, 84.
Yeah, and then it dropped down, so I wasn't too upset with those 2 picks. The Blossom Tales 2 review just irritated me because it's like, it's more of the same and it's a Zelda clone. And it's like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, it was fun. Like, I don't get it. Like,
it's a sequel.
You're upset about the game doing what it did best in the first one. Like, what do you want it to do? It didn't make it didn't take risks. Like, well, that's not the point. It's not gonna take risks. It's literally going to be an homage to Zelda. Like,
yeah. If we didn't have like such a full like discussion to get through later, I feel like we should do an episode just on like critics and reviewers and like what is this?
yeah.
3 more games here. Curse the Golf got a 77. Soul Hackers 2 got a 75. So Dish is starting to sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he wanted a little bit more.
It's funny, as me in last place with my final release of last week, Splatoon 3 with an 84, and the least amount of points in the league, I only have one. I don't think I have any games under 70, right?
You're reviewing pretty well.
I don't think I have anything under 70. The only thing that's hurting me is that my 2 biggest games I picked up, Breath of the Wild 2 and Hollow Knight Silksong, both are no-shows. So that's really hurting me here. And of course, my 2 picks from last year, God of War and Bayonetta 3, are scheduled to release. So I'm bitter.
Yeah. and your counter picks kind of hurt you too.
Yeah, I didn't have a choice, man. I didn't really feel like what I was gonna. I felt everything you had picked.
Don't bet against cats.
And that's what I did. I bet against cats because I'm an idiot, and I knew that people would give that game a better review than. Yeah, I will say though, after the game came out, I haven't heard anything about it. No one's talked about that game since release week.
Yeah, it's kind of a one-note song.
Yep.
Just done.
So that bit me.
And real quick to wrap up our Fancy Critic update, some upcoming releases. We have Metal Hellsinger coming out this week, actually. Probably by the time this podcast is posted, it might be out. The Diofield Chronicle comes out the following week. And then Valkyrie Elysium comes out the end of the month.
That'll be interesting to see what that does, because I picked it up strictly on the history of Valkyrie Profile. Which is a very old PS1 game.
Oh dear. Could this be your first game under 80? We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe I'll be playing it.
Maybe you'll be playing it.
Yeah, it's better than you playing what? Final Fantasy, Stranger of Paradise?
That is the leading worst game at the moment.
Yeah. The loser has to look forward to playing that game, so I need like a crappy...
We keep bragging on Chad that he's gonna be the one playing this, and you know what? I feel like he's actually making a comeback here.
No, you are not allowed to say that. Because every time the two of us have spoken, even including Chad, it's always like, oh, Chad's gonna lose. You just immediately assume that's gonna end up happening, and it's like, oh. And now you.
I mean, to be fair, he's in last place right now, so.
I'm in last place.
Yeah.
I am only like 8 points behind Sadish though in projections. And my projections are usually higher at the moment. Everything's been a lot higher than what they've been projecting, so it really depends on, like,
if your game's actually released.
If Silksong releases, I'm coming in second. I'm calling it. If Silksong comes out, I'm coming in second. If Silksong doesn't come out, I'm lost. I'm lost. There's a small, slight percentage that I could take first, but I don't see that happening with Bayonetta and God of War still coming out at the end of the year. And you already have like 100 points already, so.
You're gonna break 100 this year.
I'll break 100. I'm almost there. I'm almost there now.
Yeah.
So I'll actually break it.
Have you broke 100? I kind of want to check real quick.
I have like 81 or something like that.
Okay.
Or 84.
You're gonna do it though. Yeah. I have faith in you.
Yeah, no, I'll break it. There's no way. I still have 7 games to release. There's no way I'm not gonna get like 15 points. Not with the game. Pokemon alone will get me to that point.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that does it for our Fancy Critic update. You're all caught up. It's all coming down to the finish line here, so and then we can start scheming up next year's draft, which some of us might have already started making spreadsheets for. But
And we've got VGA coming up.
yes,
So we'll have to get a betting thing on that. And
betting special for that to determine next year's draft order, which is going to be clutch.
yeah, because then you'll be able to get either Breath of the Wild or Hollow Knight again, which will be the first 2 games picked in every draft. Oh, except for I took Back 4 Blood as number 1.
Except for that year.
Well, that was the only reason I did that, though, was because I didn't believe at all that Silksong or Breath of the Wild 2 were going to come out that year. So
fair. Yeah. The hard part about going first is like you get that one game and then you have to wait 5 games while everyone else picks it before you get to pick another game.
Yeah.
So yeah. I don't know. Debating Breath of the Wild. Oh, I gotta stop calling it Breath of the Wild. It is not Breath of the Wild anymore.
Yeah, we'll get there.
All right, so to the news. Quick 2 news stories I think worth highlighting before we get into the meat. One, Sakurai, our beloved Sakurai, started a YouTube channel, and it is delightful.
I've heard.
If you have not checked it out, you should watch them. They're great. It's called I forget how to pronounce his first name. Mashiro Sakurai on creating games. It's all about game development, and they're just such fun little witty videos, and they're like really short too. They're always like 5 to 10 minutes, and he stops right there, and it's just really interesting. Even if you're not like a game designer, just like the perspective of a game designer kind of giving this advice is cool. So check out his channel; it's worth it.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I found this an interesting headline. The PlayStation 5 consoles are getting price increases in many countries. Not the US, but it's like increasing like $50 or more in lots of countries.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, which is wild to me. I don't know. I've never heard of like a console increasing in price.
I also saw that they they're doing like a new iteration that's more power efficient.
Yeah.
So
it's more power efficient. It's lighter.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a lot more.
It's just the internals, though. It's like the outside's still the same. They just completely redesigned the internals.
Which is cool.
It makes sense because they do that for every console, dude. Like every single console, they've always reiterated the internal hardware.
Make it more efficient. Make it
Starting with the PS1. I mean, the PS1, there were multiple versions of that thing because some had the external Game Shark port on the back of them, the parallel port, and then like as it got better, they just kept the same shell and made better hardware for it. And PS2 was the same thing. I mean, I've done a lot of modding on those consoles throughout the years, so I know all the different model numbers, and they're always a pain because each one's different. Each version is different to work on, so because of the iterations of the motherboards and stuff, but yeah, that's not expected. But
it's just like crazy because like they're so hard to find still, and apparently, and Sony's response is let's make it more expensive and still just as hard to find.
Yeah, apparently Xbox Series X's are easier to find now. Like people you can go get them. From what I've seen, like there's no issue with going out and grabbing one. So but yeah, we'll see. We'll see by the time they're available, the PS6 will be coming out, and
and we'll see, maybe
because you couldn't even find a PS4 though for a while. I remember that one Black Friday when Spider-Man was bundled. I was gonna buy a PS4 with Spider-Man, and you couldn't find it. You could only get the PS Pro, and I wasn't gonna spend that money with the PS5 coming out soon. And then, ultimately, I literally never saw a PS4 in the store. So at that point, all I saw were Pros, and I'm not spending the money on the Pro. So I just waited and got lucky and got a PS5 on launch. So I don't know.
So I can't really fault Sony since the demand seems to be there, but it's just weird. I don't know. Their like marketing image is reminding me more and more of like the PS3 era, which was when they were
$600.
Get a second job to get this. Dude,
I remember I used to work retail when that came out, and it was insane. you could not get a Wii and you could not get a PS3. But the Wii, like, is $250, so everyone was like buying them up quick, and literally they were $5.99 were the PS3s when they first came out. It's insane. But all right, so this is probably what we should have started with instead of doing our playthrough. Maybe we should have done the playthroughs last.
You got timestamps.
Yeah,
you can jump here if you want.
So, Nintendo Direct was today, the highly anticipated first Direct since February.
Just them skipping June, like, without that E3 presence. This felt like monumental. And then Sony having their event today too, it felt like September 13th, a day you'll remember.
Yeah. And we really, I didn't know that TGS was this weekend, so that kind of makes more sense now why both companies did this.
Yeah. And a lot of the just Japanese anime type of games that were shown.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess just real quick, they kicked it off with a new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Engage.
Yes.
So,
shall I cover that since you're not a Fire Emblem?
I'm not a Fire Emblem fan. I can't do those turn-based, grid-based games, so go ahead.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's going to be an exception.
Live Alive is very grid-based.
Yes. I think the 8-bit Chrono-ish vibes is what's getting chat through it.
Pretty much. Not anime swordsman vibes. Although Chrono is an anime swordsman. Chrono for Smash. Please.
But yeah, Fire Emblem Engage. I'm excited that it's a new Fire Emblem. I have kind of mixed reception to it. Because the character designs are kind of weird. I'm not a fan of this red, blue-haired protagonist. And also, it seems like a main kind of mechanic or gimmick or whatever you want to call it is being able to summon old Fire Emblem characters into the game, which kind of feels kind of like fan service to me. I don't know how I feel about it as a plot device.
It's like, if you want that character in the game, just put him in the game.
Yeah. So I kind of have my reservations with this. I don't know. Like, Fire Emblem Awakening for 3DS is like one of my favorite games of all time. And it kind of went downhill with Fates. And then Three Houses was kind of cool, but I'm skeptical of this next one. I feel like it has a good, bad kind of cycle. And so we'll see. But it was definitely a big way to kick off the Direct, for sure.
Yeah, it was rumored for a while that there was a new Fire Emblem game coming out, so...
there were kind of some leaked images of it with a red, blue-haired female protagonist, which I think it looks like it can be either or in this. So those leaks seem to be real.
Cool. So a game that came out on Switch as well is It Takes Two, or it's coming out. It Takes Two was great. Fantastic co-op game. Played that with Patrick. Loved it. So much fun. This is kind of a similar theme, though, is that it's kind of like too little too late. I'm sure people will buy this that don't have other consoles, and they'll be able to enjoy it, which is great.
Yeah, if you don't have it, like, it's a great co-op game and perfect fit for Switch in that sense.
Yeah.
It looks very toned down, but if that's your only way to play it, go for it.
Yeah. It was a super fun game. Like, if you like, like Portal and any of those co-op like puzzle solving games, like it's fun. It's a good play for sure. Not to say that it's up there with Portal, but just the comparison of like you have to work together to make to
it made good use of like co-op kind of mentality
and the environment and everything. It was fun. Tunic is getting a Switch release, which is like something that should have been there day one. That game
as a like Zelda, like it's like perfect on Nintendo.
Yeah, it's like literally NES Zelda like inspired, but yet it wasn't on a Nintendo console, which is kind of crazy. So again, kind of too little too late, but it'll be great for all the people that held out. Because
I bet you there's a sizable audience that hasn't played it still.
Probably,
so.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And being able to play it, I feel like I probably would have played it a lot more if I wasn't playing it on Game Pass. Because I would have just played it in bed or something.
Oh yeah, it'd be perfect. Trying to figure out those puzzles late at night, be like, what?
Yeah, for sure. The surprise, which apparently wasn't a surprise because it got leaked 5 minutes before the review, or before the direct, apparently was Octopath Traveler 2.
Yeah, that was the biggest surprise to me.
I had no idea they were working on another Octopath, especially since like Live Alive just came out, which was using the same engine. It just, I don't know, it just never crossed my mind that there's another Octopath game coming out. But yeah, that's coming out soon.
Yeah. Apparently it's being multi-platform too, which is cool.
Yeah,
so.
well, the first one was too. It's on Steam and everything.
I think
else.
after the fact, but eventually it did. This one's like right out the date. So
yeah, I think PS4 and PS5 at the moment are the only ones. There was no Xbox listing that I saw from. I think Wario 64 was sharing that out.
I think you're right. Yeah.
So I saw that post earlier today. Then we got some NSO N64 games. We're getting Pilot Wing 64, Mario Party 1, 2, and 3.
There we go.
Which is really cool. I actually, as I watched it, Mario Party 1 is probably the one I played the most with.
All the N64 ones, best.
Yeah, like one of my friends from Germany, he was my neighbor. He was actually like, I don't know, he was in like 5th grade maybe, and I was like a junior in high school, but he would be like, you want to go play Mario Party? And I was like, yeah, I want to play Mario Party. And I come downstairs and like I go down to his house and his mom would be there. Hey Chad, how's it going? We'd just sit there and play Mario Kart all night. Or Mario Party and Mario Kart and all that stuff. But
oh man, it's just gonna destroy those Joy-Con sticks though.
Oh yeah,
unless they take out those games.
Or they're gonna destroy all the wireless N64 controllers.
I'm almost tempted to get one just for that.
Do it. It's good. It's so good. It's such a good controller. Well, good controller for that console.
Yeah, it feels like only at home for those games.
Yeah. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. 1080 snowboarding, which is so cool. Like cool. Love 1080 snowboarding. Excite Bike 64, and then the big reveal was that GoldenEye is coming with online multiplayer. So
that's insane, man.
What's crazy about the GoldenEye thing is I'm not shocked by it because I had a feeling this was going to happen because of a pinball thing that just happened. Stern Pinball just announced like last week that they're going to be doing a GoldenEye themed pinball machine. And I was like, I bet this means that the rumored games that are coming out are gonna come out now. And sure enough, here we are. So, yeah.
What's crazy to me is that it's part of NSO, and the fact that they're just like giving this away for free on that when they could easily have like marketed and sold it.
So apparently they are doing 2 versions though. Because it's also coming out on Xbox, but the Xbox version's different. It's a 4K like remastered version, like halfway remastered. And from what I was seeing is that the online multiplayer is exclusive to Switch. So
that's nuts as well.
It's really weird, like, because that's what everyone was saying online. Like I was reading through Twitter tonight before we got on here. It was basically. Everyone was saying that like online multiplayer will be exclusive to the NSO version, but the NSO version is just an emulator upscale of the ROM. It's just the emulator is doing all the online stuff, and
like people will be fine with that.
And it's like the NSO, like it's the Nintendo 64 ROM.
If you have your choice of online and like graphics, they're going to choose the online.
And then the Xbox version. Is just like 4K reskinned, remastered, but it's still like not great. Like, and the reason why people were pointing this out was like the N64 one is copyright 1997, where the Xbox version was copyright 1997 2022 because it was doing both of them. So that's how you know you're getting just the original game on Switch, but the remaster on the Xbox.
Interesting.
But both owned by Rare, so are both being worked on by Rare.
And Rare and like whoever owns the movie license for GoldenEye, and just there's so much
MGM, I guess,
tied into this. Yeah, it's crazy.
It's kind of nuts. I don't even know if MGM still exists, but anyway, that's huge. Like that was the biggest take there. You know, I was really hoping that we were gonna get some Game Boy game announcement.
Yeah.
That was kind of when they teased GoldenEye, and a little thing popped up in the corner. It had the Metroid, like, Player One logo, and I was like, ooh, they're going to show Zero Mission. They're going to show Fusion, and we're going to get GBA on Switch, and no, it didn't happen.
Yeah, so, I would have liked Game Boy games, but I gotta say, of the N64 games they add in, it's pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty good. The only thing I don't like about it is that they're going to be dripping those out between, like, now and next year. Because it was like Mario Party 1. I think it was like Mario 1 and 2 are coming out this year.
Yeah.
Which is
good. Then you have like
and GoldenEye.
And then 1080 and like Pokemon Stadium 2 and Mario Party 3 were next year.
Yeah.
But regardless, I mean the value right now of NSO I think is well worth it. I mean it's like what, $70, $80 for the expansion pass? $80 a year, but
for a family plan.
But think of it this way, though, like if
that's across 8 people.
Yeah. So you can share it, but here's the thing, though, like you can, if you play retro games and you want to buy these cartridges, like to play, you're gonna pay $70 for Pokemon Stadium 2. You're going to pay between $30 to $50 for each Mario Party. You're going to pay $30 for GoldenEye, and it's not going to be online. Like,
it's not going to have these quality of life improvements.
Just these games alone are more, you know, it's more expensive to buy the physical copies of it than to just get it here. So,
and have save states and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, you know, and of course, yes, you can emulate it for free, blah, 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 I get that. But if you legally want to play it and, you know, do it, then...
Don't have Nintendo send a ninjas on you.
Yeah. So, if you want to do it, then, yeah, I mean, it's totally worth it. Rather than the hassle of, you know... I have physical consoles, I know, but it's still a hassle. I'll still pick my Switch almost every time to play something, rather than hooking up something behind me, But yeah, so that was great. I wish they would have done Game Boy, too. Like, it just doesn't make sense they don't have mobile games, like handheld games on a handheld console. At least give me, like, one day, do like a cartridge, do like a, you know, GB Classics 20 games or something. It's like, come on.
Get out of jail free card when their Switch starts waning in popularity.
Yeah, so. But, yeah, I'll let you do the next one, the Miyamoto.
Yes, Miyamoto-san comes on stage and starts talking a little bit about the Mario movie and Universal, and like it's all coming next year in the US. Get ready, and then they try to sell you on Pikmin Blue, the mobile game, for like 2 minutes. I'm like, my God, they're spending a long time on a mobile game.
It's been out for like a year too. Like it's been out for a while.
Yeah, it's been out for a long time, and it's not very receptive or popular, which is fine. It's a cute little like step tracker with Pikmin. I don't know, it's weird, but at least they kind of redeemed him, and they announced Pikmin 4 after that. It is finally real and happening after like, I don't know, 5 to 6 years saying it's almost done. We're really close to making this.
I think he said it was almost done in like 2015 or 2017, something like that.
It's absurd. And I'm very excited that this is a real thing that's coming next year. That said, they like showed really nothing of it.
They showed that you can now have a camera in the perspective of a Pikmin.
It's weird because like the environment that they chose to show, like feels off in perspective. I don't know. Like it was a very like tiny fence. I'm like, that doesn't seem natural. I don't know.
Pikmin are very large now.
I don't know. But I'm looking forward to it regardless. That's the main draw of this. So, hooray, Pikmin. If you haven't played Pikmin before, you should give it a shot.
Yeah,
they're great games.
We got some quick footage of the Mario Kart 8 booster. We got Rabid Sparks of Hope. Quick updates on that. Switch Sports releasing the golf update. It's coming out, and then Bayonetta 3 got some more footage shown, and there's supposed to be a gameplay trailer coming out today as well for that.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and there were some demos too that came out today, like Resident Evil Cloud got a demo today, which I heard was kind of bad, but that got an update. Like a bunch of games had some demos that released today.
And in general, most Switch Cloud versions aren't worth it.
And then there's the Splatoon 3 Splatfest, which we didn't talk about that at all, but Splatoon 3.
Yeah, just announcing the theme.
Yeah, that seemed to sell really well. Everyone, seems to be jumping.
Oh yeah, especially in Japan. It's like absurd.
I heard it was like a record breaker, like 3 million copies in like 2 days or something. It's pretty absurd. So,
I'll mention one game here, which I have highlighted, and you have probably no clue what it is or remember, but it's called Raincode. And the reason that jumped out to me is they said it was from the creators of Danganronpa, which I recently played. And just, you probably didn't hear it because you weren't listening to the direct initially with audio, because you had a conference meeting. But hearing the music, it was like definitely giving me Danganronpa vibes. I was kind of jamming out to it. And it just looked interesting. It's something I want to keep my eye on. It's like a weird detective game kind of mixed with like kind of Persona vibes. I don't know, so I'm intrigued.
Cool. Then we got the another surprise. We got the Year of Kirby continues with a remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe version.
Yeah, this was probably the most unexpected announcement, just like of all games to decide to port next this Wii Kirby game after so much Kirby this year.
So I think we were at this point when the sizzle reel started, or it started right before this, and I was telling Patrick, I was like, we got about 4 minutes left, and they haven't said anything about Mario or Zelda or Breath of the Wild, like sequel or anything. Like, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna happen. And then it was like Kirby's Return to Dreamland. I was like, really? Like they're gonna end this direct on Kirby's like a Wii remake game? Like, come on. And then we got the one more thing.
There's always one more thing.
There's always one more thing. So as soon as they did it, the first image pops up, and you know right away it's Zelda.
Like hieroglyphics, kind of mural.
Yeah, and really like I'm watching it and I'm like, all right, what's gonna happen? And it was kind of long. It like kept like showing just like the symbols, and then boom, the door
setting the mood. Yeah.
The door opens. It's Link. He runs through, and he just Skyward Sword jumps off of an island, floats down. It shows,
and it floats up on a rock.
Yeah, he showed like the mechanic was using like the Sheikah Slate to like climb up like
first time kind of thing. Yeah.
So but then the best part of it was we got the title, Tears of the Kingdom or Tears of the Kingdom. That hasn't been spoken yet, so I assume it's Tears, considering they didn't show it in the UK because the Queen died. So
watch it. Anytime they say this title, it's gonna have like that warbled like text, like audio sound, and you're just never gonna know how it's pronounced. It's like Kingdom. It's like what?
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it when like
they're interviewing or something.
Yeah, we'll get it in the next update when they start talking about the pre-orders for the Switch Pro themed one. So, we got a name, and then we got a date. which was much later than I thought we were gonna get this game.
A little later, yeah. I think we were all thinking like March probably.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was thinking.
2 months later than that.
Yeah, so we're getting it May 12th. So
I kind of have a little bit of conspiracy theory with that. I don't know if you want to go into that.
Sure, let's hear it.
So it's in May, which is a little bit later than we thought. And there's been a lot of Kirby this year, which is everyone knows is the end of a console. Do you think in May is when they're thinking Switch Pro?
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. If they do, which
would be after their fiscal year is keeping their word. There's no new Switch console this year.
So listen. They just recently did the Splatoon OLED.
Mm-hmm.
They just announced a Pokemon Sapphire, or whatever it is. What's the new one?
Yeah, the
Violet.
Scarlet.
Yeah.
I think, or I learned the kids are calling it Scarvy for short. For the...
So they just announced that OLED model. So you know that Zelda's gonna get an OLED model. But I'm really hoping really hoping that it's gonna be the Switch 2 or the Super Switch or whatever they're gonna call it. Or they just call it Switch and it's got more power. I don't care. Just
New Nintendo Switch.
Nintendo Switch, something like that. So because I don't want to buy a OLED if the new
I'd rather not.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
But I know I'm gonna want it. So
I just thought I was curious with the May release date. That seems kind of like, why say something so confidently with that date unless there's maybe something around it? I don't know.
Yeah. It's weird because now we are like spoiled by this because we typically don't get console releases. Like traditionally consoles were always between September and November.
Yeah. And what better way to launch a console than with Zelda?
Yeah, they just learned that. I mean, it's the best-selling console of all time pretty much right now. Like, it hasn't, beat those numbers yet, but it's on pace to break like every console sales record. So, and they did it with Zelda.
Yeah.
So.
But no, I'm excited. It gave slight shivers watching that trailer, although it is kind of repeating the same strokes at this point after the past 2 trailers that I'm hungry for more. I want something. I want to look at these so-called dungeons or that they seem to be hinting at with like the 7 tiers. So
I want action scenes. Like nothing that they've shown has given me the excitement that the Breath of the Wild trailer did when Link was just chilling in that field and then that guardian just like started chasing after him. Like I was sold right then and there. Like, not that I wasn't sold anyway, but as soon as that happened, I was like, I need this game. And then it didn't come out for like 5 more years.
Yeah. I will say that the box art that they've shown for this looks gorgeous. If you haven't seen it,
I have not. I'll have to check it out.
Oh yeah.
I'll do it after here.
All right.
We look this up. But yeah, so that was like 50 games that they went over in this Nintendo Direct.
And then 40 minutes, it's crazy.
And we only covered a handful of them because majority of them were like JRPGs, animation, or
farming games,
or farm simulators. So, yeah. But let's move on to the state of play.
Yes.
So that happened about 5 hours ago. They opened that thing up with some Tekken 8. I immediately knew that was Tekken 8. I think everybody who plays video games knew that was Tekken 8.
Yes. Yeah. They didn't really try to hide it.
But I don't know. I haven't played a Tekken game in forever. I think my favorite, still to this day, has always been Tekken Tag Tournament. If I ever get a fighter cabinet in my arcade, I will probably get that game on it. At some way, if I don't get a board, I'll have it on MAME or something, because that was always one of my favorites, and I think I still have it for PS2. It was definitely like one of the first games I got on my PS2 was Tekken Tag Tournament. Because I don't know, just like that tag aspect always reminded me of like Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like
yeah.
that. Just jumping in and out. Like, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, but that was it. Tekken 8. And then I was most excited today because they said they were going to talk about PSVR 2.
Yeah, man.
And they did. They just talked about the games again. And that's what they've done.
The console remains a mystery. I just don't understand.
Like, they talked about games like the 2 last State of Plays. They've been like, oh, new games coming to PSVR. And it's like, all right, cool. But what about the console? Like,
yeah.
Like, I've read there's blog posts that Sony's put out, and like there's reports of the new controller and all this stuff, but like I haven't seen the headset. I haven't like seen specs on the headset. I haven't seen like, is it wireless? Is it what my dream VR system is that Meta or Microsoft or somebody does like a partnership where you can use and Microsoft would be the best one to do it, a headset that you can use on the console and on the PC at the same time. Like, I would love that. That way, like, VR is so like niche as it is. Like, bring it all together, make it one thing. Like I just hate that there's like on PC I can use any VR headset and play any VR game. But on, but then Sony has their own, and it's like, okay, I'm not gonna buy it just to play Astro. But like,
you're tempted.
But I want to play Astro. Like, it's so like, I get it, but it's like,
that is the very definition of console exclusives,
so
and
dumb.
How they try to get you to buy their systems.
Yeah, I know. It's just so dumb for me. Like, I don't know. Anyway. But
as what Mario is always on Nintendo.
But here's the thing though too now is like, I personally, like, my VR system is so old that, I mean, it's not old. I bought it like 4 years ago, but like, I have to have sensor bars and I have cables, and there's so many advancements in it since then that now it's completely wireless, and you can even do wireless to your PC using your Wi-Fi and stuff, using like Oculus AirLink and stuff like that. So I don't know, we'll see. Like, I'm kind of like, part of me's tempted to get a new headset, just because there is a lot of VR that I want to play again, but
yeah,
I'm also lazy, and I don't. And then right now, the way I'm set up, I mean, I could play VR, but I'll have to move this couch to play it, unless I run cables through the wall to the room behind me, and then play in there. So I don't know. I kind of say I'm in the market for a new VR, but I don't know. If I can't play Half-Life Alyx on it, I don't think I want it. So
yeah. But, and like I think I've said before in this podcast, I just want controllers that aren't dated back to the PS3.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I want to learn more. You just won't show me.
I've seen didn't they show the controllers?
Images of it.
Yeah, but like, again, like there's no like
show me. I want to see it in action.
Yeah, where's the state?
When's
of
it coming out?
Or
What how much is it? What? Tell me the details.
There's been no check out tomorrow to get an in-depth look at the PSVR 2. Like, there's no video doing that. Like, there's no treehouse, Yeah. Like, show me.
It's been really weird how they've been handling it.
Yeah. So, all right. Next, that's my rant.
Yep. Moving on. I kind of, speaking of weird, I don't know. Hogwarts Legacy, they've been showing this game to death, which is fine. People are excited. Although I just keep getting wary.
I don't understand what its gameplay is. That's what it is. It's
weird. I don't know. It seems like overly ambitious, and I'm just not sure if it's going to really have much depth to it. And now I'm just getting weirder vibes now.
It's based on a movie property.
Well, with this latest state of play, they were showing off an exclusive quest only available on PlayStation, and I'm just like, oh gosh, you're gonna start having divided content, and then probably adding like DLC to this game, and they have to buy like how much are you going to chop this game up? I don't know.
That was Destiny though.
Yeah, so it's a service game. It's
Yeah.
a game as a service. So I mean, it's from
It's
what
giving me weird vibes. I don't know.
it is. It's got like an MMO aspect to it. So I think it's sort of Destiny-ish, where you get like small groups of people doing
Raids,
like,
quote unquote.
raids and dungeons and stuff like that.
People just want to be a student at Hogwarts. That's all they.
But I think that the weird, yeah, I think, you know what? Now that I think of it more as Destiny, I can see that, like, you know how each wizard may have their own like specific school of magic that they may, you know, put more effort into. Could be like Destiny's Guardians class. So like if like, you know, like if you're more into like what do you call it, like the plants, you know, that plant magic, you know, you could be like the healer or whatever. All right, and like you could, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So if it's something like that, then I guess it kind of can make sense. Like if you're, you know, more into like the offensive magic or the defensive magic, that kind of stuff. I can see you know, like speccing your character out. You know,
Is this a group game?
Yes,
or is it a single
I remember
player?
it. I remember it saying that you can group up.
Okay.
And take on
I have
like
zero
things.
interest in this game.
But
Well, you should
yeah,
be attention center for Fantasy League at least. This could be a big contender.
yeah. The weird thing is the fact that like a lot of games have tried this formula, and I feel like only Destiny has really like quote unquote succeeded at it.
That's because Destiny like is Halo. Like seriously, like when I started playing Destiny, I was like, "This is Halo. This is awesome. Like this feels great." And then like, yeah, the whole like group aspect and, you know, raiding and then like the tower and like, I don't know, I loved all of it, but it just to me it just felt like I was playing Halo, and I was a Titan, so I was like, yeah, I'm playing Halo.
Getting the game to feel mechanically satisfying is like half the battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's really all I had to say on Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, not too much.
The thing of it is that we haven't really gotten anything concrete.
It's still kind of.
We haven't gotten really any gameplay of it, so we don't know how like us would interact with that game.
Yeah.
So I think once we get that, then we'll have a better idea.
I thought about picking it up for Fantasy this year just because I was like, what do I pick up? What has a release date? And then it didn't, and I'm glad I didn't pick it up because it got canceled. But it was just one of those, it was just one of those things where I was like, I don't know what to pick, and like, but then I was like, this is gonna bite me because it's a game based on a movie. but it didn't have an actor tied to it that I remember hearing, at least. So.
I don't think it does. No.
So because that's what you avoid for sure. That's the golden rule right there. Cyberpunk.
Oh gosh, don't mention that game anymore.
So.
All right, and then ending our tirade of weirdness, they mentioned the PlayStation Stars program, and I guess this is supposed to be kind of similar in the vein of like Nintendo's like platinum coins, you know, play games, you get rewarded with stuff, although so far all they're really detailing is having like
digital
weird like 3D models. Yeah.
Like it, and what did she say? She said that it's like a loyalty program or something, and like you play games or specific games, or you
get like missions or something.
Yeah, for games. So I'm thinking like trophies, because that's the only thing I can like see where it can like the existing PlayStation trophies.
Yeah.
Like somehow that will tie into their.
Nintendo actually introduced a missions program recently on the Switch that icon I rarely click on.
And that's how you
Where-
would get like pins and stuff they do, like physical
Yeah.
collector pins and stuff.
So you can update your profile icon. And
Yeah, stuff
I wonder
they
if
have,
it's
like, they have
the-
like missions where they're like, play this NSO game or something.
Yeah, it'd be like beat Mario 1-1 on NES or something. Like
Yeah.
that.
I wonder if it's like, you know how Steam has those things?
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
familiar with Steam.
They're
now.
just like achievements though. Like
Yeah, it's weird.
basically
I
what it
don't
is.
I don't fully
But-
understand it,
but
but you can like
PlayStation already has
you-
achievements, so
yeah. So yeah, you can redeem the points for like these 3D like little statues and stuff.
Like, I don't even know. Like, I guess it's cool, but like, where do you view them? Like, what's
Yeah, it's like
Well,
what's
I
the
don't
point of it?
if I'm gonna have to like dig into a menu to just pull it up? Like, I'm never gonna look at them.
yeah. Unless it's on like your gamer profile page and it's like
Yeah,
No
or just
point.
like part of your background, just like floating.
Even then,
something.
it's like what's the point?
yeah. So
So I don't know. It's weird. They say it's apparently rolling out like later this
End of
month or
September, I
November.
think.
Yeah, I
think
think
end of this
it
month in
varies by
Asia?
region or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's at the end of this month in Asia.
So,
and
I guess we'll learn more soon, but
yeah.
yeah,
it's weird.
a little bit.
All right, we're almost done here.
Yeah.
2 more games. Really worth highlighting. One was called Rise of the Ronin, which I believe was this the Team Ninja
What? 2
game?
more games? Excuse me.
Oh, do you want to talk about something else?
Me. You totally glossed over like a dragon, Ishin.
I will say that game was the most like that one I started paying attention to just because they said it was a Sega game that never came to the West. And I
You know
was
what
like,
it is,
"Ooh."
right?
It's
Yeah,
the
I had no
Yakuza
idea.
series. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
it
It's
is?
freaking
Okay.
Yakuza,
Yeah,
but set in like
that series.
1800 Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
It's,
like
it's definitely wacky.
like expect wackiness on like the same realm of like
Are you
well,
a Yakuza fan?
no, but I know the insanity that lives in this
Yeah.
game. Like I think in the last Like a Dragon, there was a mission to freaking get someone toilet paper,
I've never played them, but I've heard they're like a lot of fun.
or like
Because it's fans.
or like to
I love,
save like a freaking crawfish.
I love the donkey videos on the Yakuza games. They're very
It
entertaining.
makes the Yakuza games make zero sense to me.
Yeah.
I've heard you should play them in order though if you play them, like because I've heard that it's just that way you can build up the ridiculousness. Like it's supposed to like kind of follow a ridiculous path. So
Yeah, there's a lot of those games. It's hard to.
yeah, there's like 8 of
It's
them. I think,
intimidating now
something
to
like that.
jump into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is the fact their design philosophy of the game. Like you start watching and you're like, it's like an old type game. Not old type. You know what I mean? It's set in like 1800 Japan or whatever, and samurai and etc. But like the way the game looks and like how people move and whatnot, you can like immediately tell, oh, this is a Yakuza game.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me, like how games have that design
They're, like
or like
distinctive,
the theme.
yeah.
It's interesting. Continue.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't realize. I know Yakuza games have their fans. I just have no experience, so didn't really have anything to say on it, and didn't know you would have. But yeah, if you like Yakuza games, it looks just as wacky. So, if you care about the story of those games, isn't it kind of like really like just wacky, like soap opera? I don't know. It just seems. But like I said, I don't know much about them.
Not really.
Okay.
I guess the next one it would be what? Ronin?
So yeah, back to Rise of the Ronin, which I think they said was Team Ninja.
Yeah. So
It-
I'm
it-
expecting good things about it from this, at least gameplay wise,
It's-
because
I
of
mean,
this
it's
Team
cool.
Ninja.
Is this the game
Yeah.
coming in 2024?
Yes.
Jeez.
That was my definite reaction when they finished Showdown. I was like, you have the audacity to announce a game, not next year, but 2 years. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's like, it's funny because like I was watching this in the kitchen when we were like feeding the kids, and even Vivi was like, 2024. Geez, why would they even announce that now? And I was like, right?
It's crazy because they say that date and it looks very polished, at least from the trailer.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking too. It's like they have that much like.
Well, the thing about it is like, Team Ninja. Yeah, they made Stranger of Paradise. But they also made,
Like that's for more like the action or elements of that game, though,
So
right?
don't
Yeah,
pick
but-
this
but
up
the
in
thing-
2024 fantasy.
the thing about it is that they also made, they also make Dead or Alive and Neo or Nio or whatever you want to call it, which is basically like Dark Souls or Bloodborne set in Japan and whatnot. So I'm expecting good.
They make Dead or
Action.
Alive, you said?
It has potential.
Yeah, it has, so I'm yes,
Yeah.
potential. So I'm expecting the potential to have, of the game to have
Mhm.
really good,
Boob physics.
sword gameplay or action gameplay. So
Yeah,
I don't know how.
it looks interesting. Like looking at it, it kind of looked like a mix of Ghost of Tsushima meets like Assassin's Creed or something. I don't know.
And I mean, they did make Ninja Gaiden, so.
No.
Mhm.
Tecmo made Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, excuse me, Tecmo made it.
The original. The only one that matters.
But yeah, that game looked pretty cool, but it had nothing compared to what was the last game. Both showcases really all fell on their last games that they showed. So, and for Sony, as the game that is making Sadish sweat here, because he knows in his heart it's gonna be good. It is God of War Ragnarok.
And I thought it was funny that I was really hoping they weren't going to show footage of the game, and they were just going to end the show with showing the new DualSense controller.
They have one last thing to
It's
show.
like one last thing to show.
It's
And it's
controller.
like the controller, and I was like, yes, end it here, because that's so bad.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah. But then it cut into the trailer, and
Yeah.
I'll say it looked pretty awesome.
It's good.
I
man.
really should
And
go
it's
play
good.
that. I should
You
go play the
should.
rest of that one, but
Oh man, it definitely like increased my hype for this game. I'm looking for. This is probably gonna be the first game I pay $70 for because I'm not gonna want to wait and I'm gonna want to play it. So
It's,
Have you played the first? Not the first, but like the first new God of War.
of this like reboot, yeah.
Yes, it's not a
Yeah.
reboot. It's continuation of the
It's a
series.
continuation, but it's kind of like a new direction for the series.
I mean,
In terms of like tone and kind of gameplay,
I
it's
guess.
definitely different from
Right,
what
it's
the original
continuing.
series was. But yes, it does carry over all the history of the series. So
Yes.
Yeah, no, Patrick is constantly telling me to play it, and that's when I started it, and I played like, I don't know, like 4 hours of it, maybe? Four or so hours, and then, yeah, I don't know, I went on vacation and then fell off of it, and then when I came back, I never played it again. So,
yeah, you just got weird like that. But I think you'll like it. I think you were enjoying it last time.
it was fun. Yeah, it was fun, but I don't know. Just like I said, the story's just like, I don't know. I
Yeah,
just don't care about like
I think you'll get
mythological
into it.
gods, and I don't know. I just don't
It's
care.
it's an impressive game as you play, and I think you'll enjoy some of the gameplay elements of like exploration, like throwing your axe to like hit switches. It'll start
and
kind
also
of have
the
a
thing
some
about-
of the Zelda itch a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
it's one of those. This is one of those games where it's like the cusp of open world, but it's not. This is definitely like an on rails kind of game.
it's kind of
Where
like
you have your areas, You might get a little bit of exploration, just a little bit, but not to the breadth of like an open world game.
Yeah,
It's very contained. It's very story driven.
Yeah, and that was another complaint I had of it too. It's just kind of like I felt
it's like an adventure game. You know how to kind of guide you, but you have room to kind of mess around.
Yeah, I just felt like I felt like too like every time, and I kind of got the same vibe with Horizon when I tried playing that. It was like every time the game would start going, it was like, stop. Here's a cutscene. Listen to this chat, and I'm like, let me just play. I just want to go beat people up. like
a freaking 80-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I get that.
So.
I think part of God of War's redemption is just the cinematography is so engrossing, and Kratos' voice. I could just listen to him say "boy" all day. Here, boy.
That's Mike Judge for you, star of Stargate and Stargate. I don't know what else he's in, but God, I love him.
Mike Judge.
Yeah.
Like Beavis and Butthead Mike Judge?
I don't know. I believe that's his name.
The guy that created Office Space and
no, I'm totally wrong. It's not Mike Judge.
I was gonna say King of the Hill. Yeah.
How did I
was like, I feel like I would have heard that Mike Judge is the voice of Kratos.
Oh, sorry. Christopher Judge.
Oh, okay. Is that his brother? No.
I don't think so. Hold on, let me take a look at Mike Judge.
I have no idea if he has family.
Oh, definitely not.
Okay. Anyway, so
on that note,
so Patrick's gonna get some big points from that game most likely, and
unfortunately
with his Bayonetta 3, which will probably also get big points unless it suffers from the more of the same reviews of this year. It's very likely that he will be jumping into the lead in this fantasy league this year.
I'm hoping. So, they're definitely picking up the slack where my 2 zeros are going to be.
Just depends on if Sonic Frontiers can overshadow God of War.
Hey, that's been looking better and better with each time they show it. Although they are pushing that game hard.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, it's honestly like we talked for an hour on just the Fantasy Critic and news updates, but it was kind of I don't know, it wasn't that exciting of directs for each. I mean, there was definitely some stuff to talk about, so it wasn't like horrible by any means, but I don't know. I think expectations are always higher before.
Yeah, we didn't get those. I find it funny how everyone was so confident. Oh, we're getting those Zelda or we're getting that Metroid Prime remake, and I would have liked those things, but people have to not believe everything that.
And it's because I totally thought they were coming because there was so much talk about it. There was so much talk about it. Granted, yes, they've always kind of been rumored in the past, but I feel like this time it was like everywhere. Like everyone was saying this stuff was coming out. But then the more
Zelda heavy, there's gonna be so much Zelda.
The more I think about that, though, like it doesn't really make sense because they have the HD stuff, the textures, and all that, but like they're gonna have to rework that game because the entire menu system was on the Wii U tablet, so it's not. It's not as easy as just a one-to-one port. Like it's actually gonna take work. So I don't know if we ever will get that. Honestly,
I know they've ported over 80% of the Wii U library, but it's not like they did it all at once. They took effort to make each of those come out.
And most of those games that came out too, though, they didn't really utilize the gamepad. Like,
true.
When you think about
it, I think the only one was maybe like Pikmin 3. They overhauled that a little bit.
Because I was gonna say like Captain Toad didn't Mario 3D Land didn't.
Donkey Kong practically ignored the gamepad on Wii U.
There's so much stuff that didn't even touch that, so it was like, what's the point? But that's where I think the biggest issue comes in is the fact that they put so much effort into it, and it makes sense to have an inventory in your hand. But yeah, I mean, trying to rip all that out is interesting. And then PlayStation, I already went on the rant. It's like, tell me about this new VR system. That was disappointing for me. God of War's, it is what it is. I haven't finished the first one. If I ever do, I'll definitely pick up this new one because it looks good.
Yeah.
So that's the big.
It's tempted you to go back. It's done its job.
Yeah, we'll see. I gotta finish Live Alive and Blossom Tales 2 first before I consider playing anything else. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Another long one, so enjoy the content, you 4 people out there. And yeah, so we'll get another one going. Hopefully not in 3 months. I know we say that like every time, but that's
we're only 2 months this time.
It's mostly my fault. I'll
honestly, it's been a kind of slow summer.
Yeah, so. It has, because we didn't get like even over E3, like we didn't get a lot of news from other stuff either. So
I mean, it's been the perfect summer for like catching up on your backlog, but other than that,
yeah. So maybe we'll try to do some more like not news heavy episodes, and because obviously our playlist can be a podcast by itself. So
we'll just have philosophical discussions about why 2D games are worth $60 or something. I don't know.
It's true. Most of them are. But with that, yeah, we'll see you next episode. Thanks for listening.
Happy gaming. See you all next time.
Take care.
Bye.